All right, guys, welcome to the Investor's Guide of Memphis Real Estate. I'm your host, Dean Harris, and as always, I'm with Douglas Skipworth. How are you, Douglas?
Hey, man, doing great.
We're bringing you this podcast to give you the boots on the ground knowledge to be a successful real estate investor here in our great city of Memphis. Please like and subscribe to the Investor's Guide of Memphis Real Estate on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Apple Music, wherever you catch your podcast. You can listen or watch. Some people probably prefer to listen than to stare at us, but there you go. You've got the options. Show sponsors are listed on your screen below. We could not do this show without those guys. We've got Corlin Financial, CrestCore Property Management, Triumph Construction, Will Griffin with Griffin, Clift, Everton, and Mashmeyer. So we're happy to have those guys on board. April McDowell has started her own title company. We're happy to have them ready signing, so they're going to get their logo and have them on here next week. It's a race, Douglas. It's a race.
Rates are down.
Today we're going to talk about rates, and the title today is "It's a Race." And what I have been feeling the last couple of days in the office, on the phone, last couple of weeks, I should say, on the phone in the office, of a higher sense of urgency. There's a little bit more a sense of just kind of, I need to get started.
From your buyers.
Yeah, like I need to get going. I've had a lot of questions this week about getting with the lenders and property management.
Yep.
So what that tells me is our buyers are maybe listening to the podcast and they're building their team and they're communicating with their vendor partners, and they're beginning to kind of get themselves ready. We did one on the interest rate 6 weeks ago, I think, about kind of getting yourself ready. Today it's a little bit more of like, this is in your face.
Yes, they're down.
And here we are. So my first one, question kind of to everybody was like, did you listen to 6 weeks ago to the podcast where I said, hey, rates are falling, this is coming. Did you talk to your banker? Did you talk to your mortgage? Your property management, your hard money. Did you just communicate and do that? If you did, today's podcast is going to be really good because you're going to be geared up. You're already in your driver's seat and you're ready to go. So I want to give you just a little bit of update kind of on like where we're at market wise. Like,
come on.
One of the things I wanted to share with you is exactly where we are today for the month of October. September. Why am I trying to fast forward?
No, it's October. Oh, this is for this.
Yep, this is October. This is October. So this is what I'm about to give you now are my deals and information for the closings in October. I've got 28 already.
And it's just the beginning of October.
Yeah, we've got another probably week or so to close deals in October. I have 28 houses under contract to close in October.
Okay.
10 of those are cash deals that are under contract. 4 of those are hard money. Shout out to Corlin Financial. I think has 3 of those.
Okay.
14 of them are conventional loans. So if you 6 months ago, these numbers were not here. I was probably 18, 19, 20 were cash, 5 or 6 hard money, and then maybe a few conventional loans. So with the interest rate ticking down over the last month, you can see the direct immediate result is
you've got more conventional loans. It's 50% of all your deals.
We were about 80% cash for a 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-month stretch.
Yeah.
And with that interest rate falling, you can see that there's more deals that are working with loans. So half of my deals for October are now conventional loans. Well, more because I'm using hard money. You can kind of call that a loan. But
that's right.
So a little over half are not bringing their own hard cash to close.
Yeah. So sounds like a great opportunity for those who want to borrow. Now is a good time to borrow to buy deals. Cash still has an advantage?
Yes. I have to. I can't sit here and tell you that it doesn't. Cash still does have an advantage. However, hard money and cash are kind of treated the same.
Okay.
So even if there were a situation where you wanted to use Corlin to get in and make some offers and get in and get out, I'm assuming they have some kind of program for that, right? So there's a way you can use that tool for that.
Right.
Cash is still king, but if there's a massive difference, if your loan is, if your offer amount's a little higher, you can always talk to somebody.
Are those conventional loans? Taken
30 days.
3 weeks, 6 weeks, 30 days, 6 weeks,
yeah,
45 days.
That's funny you asked that, and I have a quote that I should like patent it or whatever you do with quotes, copyright it or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Let's do it.
And
Here
maybe,
it is.
it's maybe just
Here
it's
it comes.
maybe
Here
a
it
saying. And
comes.
it isn't the most popular thing ever,
Okay.
but it's a little bit of a saying quote. If you give a mortgage lender 30 days to close, they're going to close. If you give a mortgage lender 41 days to close, they're going to close in 41. If you give them 17, they'll close in 17. If you give them 39, they'll close in 39. Mortgage lenders, I've been in this a long time, and every single time that a deal has got to get done, if you have a relationship with the lender, it's amazing. It gets done.
It gets done.
But if you give them 67 days on the contract to close the deal, they won't be able to get it done for 67 days.
Why would you want to close it earlier than that? Why did you put 67?
So
that's what you
what
wanted.
I will learn is that whatever the amount of time you give a mortgage lender, within reason, don't come to them in 3 days. No one can do it.
Right.
What I'm saying is within 2 weeks,
Cortland,
17 days.
That's fine. Yeah, that's what Cortland.
Cortland could.
Yeah, but that's all right. That's hard money.
very
That's the difference
true.
between that is the difference between conventional and hard money. But to your point,
If you needed it, you can get it
you
quick.
can get it.
But the loan part of it, it's honest
Good.
question. It's 30 days.
Is it turned to a seller's market yet? With so many buyers, I say so many. Maybe am I hearing you say that it's a little more favorable for sellers?
So I had a conversation with a fellow this week. He was selling 5 rentals, and his only focus was his price point and maximizing the absolute dollar, because he quote, the interest rates are falling, and I know there's going to be more buyers out there.
Okay.
So
they've got sellers
sellers are feeling a little better. You know, we've punched them in the mouth for 9 to 12 months. Now they're feeling a little better. Okay. I don't believe it's going to help a ton with their negotiations right now. They just don't have a whole lot of leg to stand on. But if they begin to creep down even more, and this is natural. What we're going through right now is a natural rate decrease before election time. It happens no matter what. Every 4 years there's an election. I mean, there's we have a rate decrease. So who knows what will happen after, November, but we're going to take advantage of it now. We're going to see a rate, another one. I believe we're going to see one more before the end of the year.
Yeah, that's the plan. And I think it sounds like, hey, as rates go down, kind of what I'm hearing maybe is as rates continue to go down, more and more people are going to come in, which might give sellers more and more power. So part of it is like, ooh, I can get ahead of that right now.
Yes.
If I start making offers today.
That's kind of what I'm saying. If you're in that market and you're going to get 2 to 3 homes, that's kind of what you're trying to do, especially before the end of the year. I'd really start making offers yesterday, because they are beginning to. And if we have one more rate decrease, which they're saying,
that's the plan.
We're going to see some attitude adjustments from our sellers, especially when the new year starts. We're going to, and if the rate stays down, we're going to see an adjustment from the sellers, a little bit more of a posturing move. It's going to be harder to get deals, and what it'll start off with is it'll be harder to get the small things on a contract. Closing costs paid for.
Yes.
Help with anything, concessions of any kind. Those will go away first, and then it'll be the pricing points. It's where then you'll get no concessions and a higher price. So I'm encouraging everyone now. I wrote a contract up yesterday for a guy, and it got under contract, and they agreed to pay 2% of his closing costs. So there are still some of these deals that are out there now.
Cool.
That's why today I titled "It's a Race." We're really trying to push forward to. I don't normally come on the podcast and just say, "Hey, buy right this second." For the last 6 months, our podcasts have not been necessarily centered around you need to buy right away or you need to sell right away. We've been trying to educate you. We've been trying to inform you. We've been trying to work on our own businesses. You and I have been having this conversation outside of this. We have been working on our own businesses, slowing down a little bit. I've made more offers in the last 6 weeks than I made all year long. So it's not just me telling you this. This is the market.
No, I mean, that's a great point, because when you had said that, I was like, now, I mean, again, I'm kind of processing it here, and now's a good time to start buying. So we're saying buy, as well as sell. If now's the time to sell, it sounds like if there's some more, it's a better time to sell than it has been over the past year and a half. But what I went back and looked is like, oh, you're right. I remember 18 months ago when we were like, sell now, buy now. And we said that for a year or two.
At least on the podcast, we would come in 9 months to 12 months straight. And if we weren't talking about it, I would end it or beginning it saying,
the
buy
time.
and sell
It was
now.
the rates were, I mean, it was like that was the time. And so then there was a pause. And so now it sounds like, hey, now is a great time to get back in the game if you've been on the sideline.
I feel like you would be beating the curve a little bit. I feel like
I'm
you would be ahead.
catching
That's
that from
kind
you.
of why I was like, hey, it's a race. I wanted to emphasize a little bit today that I feel like, we've been doing it for about a month now. We've been seeing it, meaning making more offers, being a little more aggressive. But I'm telling you now, I think the time is, let's get in and for the next 6 weeks, just cram offers out there lower than what you would expect. I mean, because if the rates come down again and national media gets a hold of it and people start doing a little bit of homework, that now they're going to settle down and it's going to be a little harder to get deals done. But your rate will be lower. So we talk about the rate and down and up and the amount of volume of contracts and closings are up and down or whatever. And you don't ever really want to buy when everyone's buying right up here, right? And then it's the middle, it's down here at the bottom where things are at the very worst. It's like, you take some guts to buy there, right? So we're on one of these in the middle of the up and the down, and I think that's kind of the best place, the safest. You're not hitting at the peak and you're not hitting at the bottom.
That's right.
Someone will work with you a little bit. So I would encourage you now, go back and maybe listen to that podcast. I forget what we titled it, but it was Alec will roll it up on the bottom here of the screen when we go. But it was about 6 weeks ago, and we talked about
interest rates
are coming. This is happening. This is going. Well, we're telling you now that it's here, and now it truthfully is a race to the end. I don't say this a whole lot, and I'll end it with this. But the time is now. I feel like to sell and buy. I can make the argument for both sides, right?
Yeah.
If you're a seller and you've been waiting on that rate to fall, it's falling. Go ahead and get your property out there, and let's be patient and see what we can get. If you're that buyer out there that's navigating through some of this, the rates are lowering. Gonna lower again. Maybe by the time we actually get something under contract and you get your loan and close, we'll have that second interest rate tick. See why I'm trying to get ahead of it? I want them to start. I want buyers to start making offers and doing things right now, because if you start right now, it's going to take us a few weeks probably to find the right property. Okay. Then it's going to take another, week or two to get through the inspection.
That's
and then you're going to want to close on it around November.
Yeah.
So
and rates will be down again.
And we'll be talking about this again. So if there's any urgency on you, if you have any questions, if there's anything I can help you with, if there's any strategy talks, anything we need to go through, myself, Patrick, or Allie on my team, if I haven't introduced you to them, I will. We can all three talk you through that. Shoot me an email, dean@crestcore.com. What else you got?
That's great.
All right. See you guys next time. Thank you.
Bye.